Good evening, and thank you guys for tuning in with us tonight. My name is Demelia. I'm from the Chicago Abortion Fund's My Voice, My Choice Leadership Group, and I support a woman's right to choose.
My name is Nicole, and I'm also from the Chicago Abortion Fund's My Voice, My Choice Leadership Group, and I've had an abortion.
Tonight's show, we'll try to give you a lot of information in a little bit of time. So we're going to start with updates on what we as a leadership group have been doing and we as an organization have been doing. So, Nicole, you want to give a little bit about the House bill?
So, first I'll say what the My Voice, My Choice leadership group is. We are a group of young women who are basically the advocacy arm of the Chicago Abortion Fund, and we basically do community education, peer-to-peer education, and outreach and things like that. And so we're a part of a coalition to get sex ed mandated in Chicago public schools. And the name of the bill is House Bill 3027. And we've been working on this bill for a while. So far, we have about 55 to 57 votes. In order for it to pass, we need about 60 votes. And we've done a little grid that we have of basically women that receive funding from us. And on our chart we have red zip codes, people that receive funding from us, like 10 people or more. Yellow are a little less than that, and the green are like 4 or less. But what we notice we have 2 red zip codes, which are 60644 and 60620, and both of the state reps from there, they both are not for the bill.
Yeah, I believe the rep for 60620 is Representative Mary Flowers, and the one for 60644 is Representative LaShawn Ford. And what's really important about the map that we have drawn out is that with the House bill that Nicole will be talking about in more detail in a moment, they are the only 2 reps that is not in support of it, but coincidentally their districts have the most women that we funded as an abortion fund. So like Nicole was saying, their areas we've serviced, one has 10 women, and that's just our particular fund, not including other funds that could have possibly funded more women, but our particular fund funded 10 or more women in both of those areas. One I believe was 13 and one was in the 60620 may have been 10. So
and so the House bill is 3027, House Bill 3027, and it's a comprehensive sex education bill, which means that it would teach abstinence, as most programs do, but it also would teach about birth control, condoms, the different STDs, and it would be age appropriate sex education. And it would be from, if I'm remembering correctly, from students from the age range, I think it's 14 to 12th graders, from age 14, which is what, like 8th grade
to 6th grade.
6th grade? 6th grade? Well, 6th grade to 12th grade. And so I am in support of this bill because I, for one, did not have sex education when I was in school. And so I think it is very important, because a lot of times parents don't know how to have that talk, or they don't know how to educate their children on sex. And me, for one, my mother, she said that her parents didn't talk to her about it, and she didn't have sex education, so she didn't know how to talk to me about it. And so for those parents that are in that same situation, I think that this would be a good thing. And so with that being said, we just want people to call in, and if they need information on our reps and things like that?
Yeah, you can contact our organization. This is our client line. It's 312-663-0338. You can call that number. It's a recorded message. The line is only open on Mondays from 2 to 4 p.m. But you can call, leave a message if you want to know more information about the House bill or more information about what it is that we do. Again, that's the client line number, and that's 312-663-0338. Or you could email us at info@chicagooabortionfund.com. Our main line number is 312-663-0336. Okay, the next, did you want to just go into the info?
Yeah.
The next piece that you wanted to get into after our updates was, it's the month of October. I know it's near the end, but it's the month of October, which is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and it's also Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So, as an organization that does advocacy around all areas of reproductive health, both of these topics fit into that realm of reproductive health. So, we'll be going briefly over breast cancer facts, you know, how to spot it, how do you get it, how do you treat it, and different info about domestic violence as well, and different resources available to you, and if you're in that situation, how you could you know, handle it. So while we're talking, I encourage you to call in if you are a survivor of breast cancer, you know a survivor, or if you have it, if you want to share your story, anything, just call in and talk to us about it. Or if you are a victim of domestic violence, or you know someone who is, call in and we could, you know, share your story and we could help you out. So, which one we get into first?
You can do breast cancer.
Okay, we can just do breast cancer first. So I guess I can go over some stats for Illinois. These are well, for the U.S. and Illinois as well. These are current as of 2011. About 1 in 8 U.S. women, that's about under 12%, will develop invasive breast cancer over the course of her lifetime. Invasive breast cancer, there's two types. It can be invasive or it can be non-invasive. Invasive is basically where it spreads throughout your body. It's moved from the milk ducts, and it's spread throughout the tissue of your breast and the rest of your body. That's invasive. So 1 in 8 women in the U.S. will develop invasive breast cancer. In 2011, an estimated 230,480 new cases of invasive breast cancer will be diagnosed in the U.S., along with 57,650 new cases of non-invasive.
Looks like we have a caller. Go ahead, caller. Well, caller, we lost you, so call back, please.
Please.
If you have a question.
So again, the number is, if you want to contact us and, you know, more privately or whatever, it's 312-663-0338 or 312-663-0336. I'm going to read that last stat over. In 2011, this year alone, there will be an estimated 230,480 new cases of invasive breast cancer, which is the cancer that can spread throughout the body, expected to be diagnosed this year. And an estimated 57,650 new cases of non-invasive breast cancer will be diagnosed. And that's the cancer that stays within the lobes or the milk ducts. For women in the U.S., breast cancer death rates are higher than those of any other cancer besides lung cancer. So I know particularly amongst African American women, breast cancer is the second leading cause of death among women, the first being lung cancer. So as far as cancers goes, it's the second highest. This is a really important stat. White women are slightly more likely to develop breast cancer than African American women. So they're slightly more likely to develop it. However, women under 45, breast cancer is more common in African American women than white women. So
I got a question.
Go ahead, boo.
So why is it that white women are more likely to get breast cancer than African American women?
The info I have really doesn't go into specifics about it per se, but I can assume, and I know there are studies that assume it's because of the lack of resources that are available. Different It's a lot of different reasons. That I think probably being the lack of resources available to black women and women of color in general, because it goes on to say overall African American women are more likely to die of breast cancer. Asian, Hispanic, and Native American women, have a lower risk of developing and dying from breast cancer. So I think maybe this is just my assumption. We're not doctors here. I know African American women have higher increases of high blood pressure.
Looks like we have a caller. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to ask regarding some of the laws in Illinois. Have things just changed so that women have more of a right over the choices of their body, or has this state been out in the forefront for a few years?
Regarding any
regarding personal choice, women having the right to have an abortion, to have discussions about having an abortion.
Well, the Chicago Abortion Fund has been around since 1986. So the decision to have an abortion to be able to legally have an abortion was decided in 1972.
72, because the Hyde Amendment is 73.
Yep, it was 1972. And so after the law was overturned, so abortion was legal, then it was basically kind of like a state-by-state, decision on how far along they allow you to have one, or where you can doctors can actually learn how to do the procedure and things like that. I mean, Illinois, we have a pretty good what shall I say, we have some pretty good, I guess you would say, laws and rules on abortion as far as some other states, but there are still some restrictions and some access that is not granted. And so the Chicago Abortion Fund, what they do actually is we fund women in their second trimester who cannot afford to get an abortion. And so
and second trimester being 13 weeks or more.
And so I think that answers the question.
And if it doesn't, you can call us at 312-663-0338 and leave a message, and we could try to better answer your question if we didn't answer it. Or you can just email us at info@chicagooabortionfund.com if you wanted to get more in detail with your question, or if you want a better answer.